Your brain will lie to you about the worst day of your life, and it only needs 2 moments to do it. Think about a vacation where the first 4 days were magic, but a hurricane grounded your flight home and you spent 12 hours sleeping on an airport floor. You still call it one of the best trips ever. Or a breakup that felt unbearable in month 2, the fighting, the silence, the checking their social media at 2 a.m. But the way it actually ended was calm and mutual, so now you remember the whole relationship as not that bad, honestly. Or a 2-hour dentist appointment that hurt the entire time, drilling and all, except the last 5 minutes, when the dentist said, "You did great, see you in 6 months." And somehow that's the appointment you remember as fine. This is called the peak-end rule, identified by psychologist Daniel Kahneman and his colleagues in the 1990s. Your memory isn't a recording of everything that happened. It's a highlight reel with exactly 2 clips saved. In 1996, Kahneman and physician Donald Redelmeier ran an experiment on 154 patients undergoing colonoscopies. Not exactly a fun day out, and at the time performed without the sedation that's standard now. One group had the procedure end right when it was most painful, then the scope was removed immediately. The other group had the scope left in a little longer. But during those extra minutes, the pain was gradually dialed down before it stopped completely. Meaning this second group objectively experienced more total minutes of discomfort, more cumulative pain by any honest measurement. And yet, when asked afterward to rate how unpleasant the whole thing was, the second group remembered it as less unpleasant than the first. They were also significantly more willing to come back and get a follow-up colonoscopy when needed. More pain, longer duration, worse math on paper, but a better memory, purely because the ending felt gentler instead of sharp. Have you ever sat through a genuinely rough experience? A bad flight, a hard conversation, a brutal workout, but because the last 10 minutes went smoothly, you told people afterward, honestly, it wasn't that bad. Now flip it from a hospital table to a restaurant table. In a study published by researchers Strometz, Rind, Fisher, and Lin around 1999, waiters were told to change exactly one thing about how they closed out the check. Nothing about the food, the wait time, the seating, or the actual service itself. One group of tables got no candy dropped off with the bill and tipped at the normal baseline rate. Another group got exactly 1 mint per person, and tips rose by about 3%. A third group got 2 mints per person instead of 1, and tips jumped by about 14%. Double the candy did far more than double the effect. But the biggest jump of all came from a fourth move, a little piece of theater. The waiter dropped off 1 mint, started to walk away from the table, then paused, turned back around, and said, "For you nice folks, here's an extra one," leaving a second mint behind as if it were a spontaneous, personal gesture. Same food, same wait time, same conversation at the table all night. But tips rose by more than 21%, purely from how the goodbye felt in that final 10 seconds. Have you ever rated an entire meal, an entire trip, or an entire coworker almost entirely based on how things wrapped up at the very end, even when you couldn't fully explain why? Here's why your brain is built to work this way. It doesn't have the storage space, or frankly the patience, to log every single minute of an experience and average it all out mathematically. That would be exhausting, slow, and honestly not that useful for staying alive. What your ancestors actually needed was a fast, cheap verdict. Was that watering hole, that cave, that stranger, that hunting ground worth returning to or worth avoiding forever? So the brain evolved a shortcut. It grabs the most intense moment, the peak, good or bad, and it grabs the last moment, the end, and lets those 2 data points stand in for the entire experience. Everything else gets quietly discarded. Psychologists call the missing piece duration neglect. How long something actually lasted barely registers at all in memory. It's efficient. It's fast. For most of human history, it worked just fine, because most experiences didn't have a manufactured, curated, misleading ending attached to them. The problem is that today, endings can be staged on purpose. A free mint, a last-minute discount, a warm smile at the door, an apology text sent at just the right moment. And your brain genuinely cannot always tell the difference between an ending that reflects the whole experience honestly and one that's just good theater designed to be memorable. So here's the actually useful part, the thing you can use today. Next time you're about to end an interaction, a date, a work meeting, a phone call with a friend, a customer sitting across from you, even a hard conversation with your kid, ask yourself one specific question in the last 10 seconds before it's over. What am I leaving this person with right now? Not what you did for the first 90% of the time you spent together. Just this one thing. Is the very last impression worth being the thing they carry away and remember? You don't need to fix an entire rough day, an entire rough meeting, or an entire rough year. You need to fix the last 10 seconds of it, on purpose, every time. So tell me, have you ever had a whole day, a whole trip, or even a whole relationship redeemed purely by a great ending, even though most of it was genuinely rough? Or the opposite, something that was actually good the whole way through, but got ruined in your memory forever because of one bad final moment? Drop the story below and tag the one person you know who always nails the ending, the last slice they save for you, the perfect goodbye hug, the one text at the right time that somehow makes the whole day worth it.